Boom! What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have something very, very special planned for this week. It's a little different from the change of pace you guys are normally used to on this channel, but I think you guys are going to like it because, the whole video is dependent on you guys. Earlier today on my Instagram story, I posted an Ask Me a Question poll, and I left it up for like 8-9 hours, gave you guys the chance to basically ask me anything about any aspect of my life. And you guys did. You guys came through. There was a good bit of responses, so I'm very grateful and appreciative for all you guys interacting on that. And so now we're going to have a little fireside chat, as my mother dubbed it, with me and Evan. So I'm very excited to answer these questions and just let you guys get to learn more about me and my channel. Let's jump right into it. All right, so we are starting out with an absolute banger of a question. This one comes from Cameron James. He writes, what's something that keeps you motivated? When I first read this question, it really struck me. I had to put a lot of thought into it, but I think probably one of the number one things that keep me motivated is just the fear of regret and the pain of regret, and to go along with that, just the fear of like being average and never really making a difference. Like, I think one of the worst things that could happen to me is I'd look back at the end of my life and be like, oh, I wish I would have done this, this, and this, and took in this opportunity and did this with my friends, and just stuff like that. And honestly, the pain of regret, I don't feel like there's another pain that's greater than that. It's a pretty painful pain, if you know what I mean. But I think that's definitely something that keeps me motivated and driven. So, all right, so this next question was actually asked by two different people, basically. Ben Smathers wrote, how did you become such a professional racer? Does it run in the family? And then I had somebody else also text me and say, how do you get into racing? So back in the fall of 2014, me and my family, we went down to Gastonia. We went to the big shopping center, and we went shopping for my mom there. And then afterwards, we went to this go-kart track in Charlotte called Victory Lane Karting. My dad said it was like a super dope go-kart track, so we went and tried it out. Had a lot of fun. Afterwards, on the wall as we were leaving the building, it said league races every Saturday. And we're like, oh man, well, like, let's just try this out, get into the league racing and get into this series that they have. And so we got into it, and we were able to win a couple races and the championship on our first ever season. And from there we were hooked, and we just progressed on to Bandoleros and now Legend Cars. So great question. All right, so this next question, me and Ev, we're going to tackle it. This one is from my mom. Thank you, Mom. She writes, looking back, what is one thing you wish your younger self knew? For me personally, I think I wish my younger self knew the value and preciousness of time, and to not like wish things away, but just to live more in the present moment, because now I'm as a senior about to go off to college. I really can look back and think, wow, time has like absolutely flown. And just honestly, I would have done that more and just really been able to live in the moment more and try to make my time as a child last longer. What about you, Ev?
Mine kind of relates to Trevor's, like just doing better in school, like taking it more personal, because now coming up, only got 2 more years, actually 1.5, trying to just grind it out.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good point. I think everybody can relate to that, but very good number 3 question. Okay, so this next question is actually really good because I hinted on it in my high school spending the night video. Sydney Messer writes, how do you plan on revealing what college you're going to? By the end of this month, hopefully that's the plan, me and a couple of my friends, we're going to kind of have like a college signing day type deal. Not like really where people can come, but like just for the sake of the video. And there I'm going to say some words. They're going to ask me questions and make a short speech about what college I'm going to, and I'll ultimately pick a hat and announce it. All right, so I'm back to knock off 3 pretty good questions here. Cameron Bolin writes, am I your favorite? Yes, Cameron, you are. Raced against you as long as I can remember. You pushed me to be a better competitor, and come Winter Nationals time, I expect us to be 1-2 all week. Hopefully me first, you second, but hey, we'll see. Garrett Zacharias, I don't know if I said your last name right, but he writes, any 2021 hero cards? No, not yet. Really hopeful, though. We're going to hopefully soon, by spring, maybe summer, get some hero cards and some merch in, because you guys got to cop the racing merch. And finally, Carson puts, do you send it? Yes. Full send or no send, on the track and off the track. That's my motto. All right, so this next question comes from our very own Evan Loftus. Evan wrote, Are you going to win Winter Nationals next week? Yes, Evan, that's the plan. I'm going to certainly try my best. We have a very good car, and I know we have something that can come out there and be capable of winning, but now it's on me, so I just got to perform. But great question. So this next question comes from a good buddy of mine, the Flying Ryan, aka Ryan Worley. He puts, who do you think will finish in the top 5 at Daytona? How about the Final 4? I'm not sure about Daytona, Ryan, because that's just such an unpredictable race. I mean, I'm sure people like Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott will be up there. But in terms of my Final 4 right now, I'll go with Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch. All right, so this next question I'm going to definitely expose myself for, but Ethan Norfleet, one a very, very good friend of mine, he put, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? So in 7th grade, I was getting ready for the annual May Dance, which for those of you that don't know what that is, it is like a middle school prom. And so there's a particular lady that I wanted to ask. And so the night before, I was like asking her friends, I was like, yo, is she into me? Is she going to say yes? They're like, oh, yeah, dude. Like, she digs you. I was like, all right, go to Starbucks that morning, get her favorite Starbucks drink. Right, will you go to the May Dance with me on it? Pull up to the gym. She's sitting there in front of the entire school with like all of her friends. Everybody's sitting there in the morning. Walk up the bleachers in the gym, hand her the drink, ask her to May Dance. She takes the drink and then says no, but still keeps the drink. And this was in front of the entire Canton Middle School student body. Very embarrassing, but now I can look back because, hey, it was 5 years ago. So from one teammate to the next, Parker Eatman asks, what is your favorite track to race at? This one's kind of tough in a legend car, Parker. Right now, I'd probably say, honestly, Auburndale Speedway, site of Winter Nationals, is probably my favorite. We tested there, obviously, and it was a really, really fun track. Just really physical, and it's a driver's track in my book. But also the Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, which we're going to after Winter Nationals, that's definitely up there. But those are 2 really good tracks in a legend car. All right, so this next question's a little hard to gauge, but it's from NASCAR Nick 2488. He writes, when and where will you win at this year? And obviously, I'd like to win at every single race I participate in this year, but that's just not realistic. But I think I'm going to nab my first legend car win at Auburndale Speedway during Winter Nationals. I'm not sure what race it's going to be, but hopefully this clip doesn't come back and bite me in the butt. But I really just feel like I'm performing right now. My team's performing. We're all firing off on all cylinders and really working hard to get in victory lane. And so that's obviously the hope. But hopefully I can look back on this year and be able to look back and have a lot of wins. Jack, you're a bro. You know that. He writes this next question. He put, Trevor, tell me your deepest and fondest memory of me. Jack, this is tough because we haven't hung out outside of the track and we've only seen each other select times in our life. But I'd probably say my fondest memory is whenever we had an epic battle during the summer shootout. We were crossing each other over. It might have been for like 18th place, but it was still dope. Okay, so this next one's a combo question. The first one comes from Ben Flynn, otherwise known as Bag Lady, and then the second one comes from Alyssa, otherwise known as Impo Simp, on the game Among Us. Ben asks, who is your favorite race car driver? In NASCAR, it's Kyle Busch. In Legend Cars, it is myself. And then Alyssa asks, where is your favorite place? I'd have to say it's either church or the racetrack. Those are 2 pretty dope places. I made a lot of memories there, so good question. This next question is a very, very good one. Tristan Bruce, another one of my homies, asks, any future plans for 2022? And then also asked, who is the best Chargers division driver? In terms of future plans for 2022, really not sure yet. There's a lot of things that can go on. Obviously, I'm going off to college in the fall. But, I mean, we'll just have to see how this year in Legend Cars goes. And, I mean, if it goes well, maybe consider moving up. But if not, who knows? But really just trying to pray on it right now and really see what God's will for my life is and just get my answer through that. But then he also puts, who is the best Chargers division driver? And Tristan, this is judging off a small sample size, obviously, because the Chargers division was only around for the summer shootout. But I'm going to have to say top 2 in no particular order because it's very close is you. You had some very solid runs. And then Logan Drumfeller really had some really good runs during the Chargers division. All right, this next one is from my dad. He put, how did you get to be so awesome? Well, Dad, it certainly helps when you have 2 awesome parents that can like teach you all their awesome stuff that they know and instill beliefs and values into you that are very, very good and stable. So I think that's a pretty solid response. So this next question is the second one from the Flying Ryan, aka Ryan Worley, and he asks, On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you of flying, commercial or private? For me personally, 10 being I'm absolutely terrified, 1 being I'm not scared at all. Probably like a 2. I mean, I'm not very scared. I've flown to Texas and back. I've flown to Atlanta, flown to the Bahamas, and I think Mexico on vacation and racing trips. And so I'm not very scared. Maybe if you were flying, Ryan, maybe it would be more like a 10. But yeah, we'll see about it. What about you, Ev?
Well, saying I've never flown before, I'd probably say at 10, but I mean, it can't be too bad. Sounds pretty safe. So maybe like a 5-ish.
Yeah, it sounds pretty safe. I mean, obviously accidents happen, but like we said earlier, full send or no send. All right, probably to close this one out, my mom asks, this is her second question, what is the best piece of advice ever given to you? And this is very tough because I've been given a lot of really good, not only advice, but just tips and things for comfort, things like that in my life. But probably the biggest piece of advice given to me is just to always be grateful and thankful for the moment. Like life never promised you anything. You never know when your last day will be. And so I always try to approach every opportunity, everything that I have with a grateful and thankful heart. What about you, Ev?
My kind of goes along with that. Mine's like, live every day to the fullest. Don't leave anything behind.
Yeah, I think that's a very good one. Obviously, going along with what I said earlier about just using like your whole life to your advantage and not wishing away time or anything and just living in the present. So very good question from my mom. So Grayson, she didn't really put a question. She just put a statement, but I want to throw it in here because it's a very good one. She put God number 1. And Grayson, my response to that is I totally agree. God is number 1. God is good all the time. He's faithful and he loves us no matter what. And we should constantly be thanking and praising him for all that he's done for us. Great reminder, Grayson. So me and Evan have obviously spent the last little bit going through all you guys' questions. You guys had some very, very good ones. They were very tough to pick between. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to them all because there was a lot. And if I would have, the video would have been like 25 or 30 minutes. So I try to keep it concise and short and sweet with you guys. But I think that's me all for this week's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. It was a little different than past videos, but I think it's something good to kind of give us a break with the snow and everything outside. Kind of hard to film a normal video. And just getting ready for Florida. Got a lot going on with school and racing, obviously. But hope you guys liked it. So yeah, that is going to be a wrap on this week's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I'm always open to new ideas. I love interacting and talking to you guys. Hope you guys are ready for next week's video. It's going to be insane. But until then, God bless.